We had strong words just in. We heard them last hour live from the White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, reiterating President Trump's threat to hit Iran, quote, 20 times harder if they block that Strait of Hormuz. This as Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense today, called for the most intense day of U.S. strikes on Iran. So that's what we're going to see today and tonight. So more now on the messaging coming out of this administration on the war with White House correspondent Kelly Meyer, who joins us from the North Lawn tonight. All right, what more are we hearing, Kelly?
Yeah, hey there, Connell. So, we just got out of the White House press briefing with Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. She said, that the president is going to continue on in this operation until all of his objectives, as she said, are complete. She laid those out again. But we didn't get much clarity on, what the president has been saying. He has said both that the operation is, quote, very complete, and also that we haven't won enough. So we didn't get specific clarity on which one of those it is. She does say President Trump, quote, remains confident that these goals will be met in what she called, quote, swift fashion. We also know that, as you mentioned, the Strait of Hormuz, she talked about that. The Energy Secretary earlier today had posted on X that there was an oil tanker being escorted through the strait. That was deleted. So she was asked about why that was deleted, what happened there. And then she did say that the U.S. has not escorted a vessel or tanker at this time. She did say again, as you mentioned, the president has made clear if they do anything to stop the flow, they will be hit 20 times harder. And they did say as well about the temporary increase, they called it a temporary increase in prices, that it may be just a short time, limited time, and that it will result in lower prices in the end. But again, we don't know the exact timeline for how long this may go. The president was also pressed again in there on exactly why he pushed forward with this, if he really felt like Iran was going to attack first. The White House press secretary said, quote, Iran wanted to attack the United States of America, and the president wasn't going to sit back and allow that to happen. And finally, I will mention, Connell, Leavitt couldn't confirm in that briefing the exact number of U.S. service members that have been injured. She said it was in the ballpark of 150. We are hearing from the Pentagon that approximately 140 U.S. service members have been wounded in this operation. They say a vast majority of these injuries have been minor, and 108 service members have already returned to duty, while 8 service members remain listed as severely injured. Connell?
All right, what about Hegseth? That was much earlier today, that briefing.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Connell, he did say that today would be the most intense day of strikes against Iran. He says that means the most fighters and the most strikes so far. He continued to say that the U.S. is winning and that they won't, quote, relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated. Now, yesterday, President Trump called the war in Iran a, quote, little excursion that should conclude soon. But at the same time, again, has said the U.S. has not won enough. Hegseth says this is being done on the president's timeline. Listen to this.
It's not for me to posit whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end. That's his, and he'll continue to communicate that. What we serve him as is we give him updates on a daily basis of exactly where we are so he can make that determination on the throttle.
Now, I did want to mention that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, was also asked about the potential for U.S. Navy ships to escort tanks through the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran has warned that it will continue to block oil until the attacks end. President Trump again has warned death, fire, and fury will rain upon them if they don't open it up. But the Trump administration, of course, under pressure for the growing cost of gas. Kane did say that they are looking at a range of options, and any decision would be made by the president. He said they'll look at what the risks are and what the resources are as required. We also know that Hegseth did decline to comment on the reports that Iran's new supreme leader has been wounded in the war. Connell?
All right, Kelly Meyer live at the White House for us tonight. It's Barbara.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.